What is up there, lovely people on the internet? Welcome back to another video. If you notice, today I am in a different location because I'm currently in Japan. I have been traveling for work purposes, and while I was gone, Nijisanji decided to implode. If you don't know what I'm talking about the situation in regards to Selen Tatsuki. He was one of Nijisanji's most beloved members and honestly was a fan favorite for a lot of you. Now, I personally didn't watch a lot of Selen's content, but I have consumed a lot of Selen through the clips that you guys have sent me here on the channel throughout the years. And I have in front of me a document that was put together by one of my friends slash mods, Ezzy, that goes through the entire situation. It's about 24 pages long, and we're going to go through all of it, and we're going to try to understand basically everything that happened with Selen, starting with the song cover that she announced, which was a cover of The Last Cup of Coffee, which was basically the catalyst for everything happening here today. And Selen basically said, "Merry Christmas, this song holds a special place in my heart, and I'm excited to finally release this cover for you. Lots of Dragoon artists drew for the music video." Now, TLDR, for anyone that doesn't understand what is taking place, quite frankly, Nijisanji fired Selen. And it all started and began because of this cover, or at least that's what we thought. The story goes deep. It goes a lot deeper than I would say me inside my ex-girlfriend. That's neither here nor there. I don't know why I said that out loud. Let's continue. Selen announced that the cover got privated by management, quite frankly, just a few, I believe, hours later, where Selen said, "Hello, I apologize, but management has privated the song. Please feel free to re-upload since a lot of money and effort was done so by many Dragoons. I'm really sad that this happened on Christmas, but I hope somehow you guys will still be able to listen to it in some way." Now, it is a lot of money to go ahead and produce music videos of this caliber, and if you got the chance to see it, it was genuinely a beautiful and amazing song. Selen's voice is incredible. All of the artwork, everything about it was just absolutely fantastic. Now, it goes without saying that normally I would be against doxing the private lives of other livers and talents in general, but I think this time it is okay for me to say that Selen's private life and personal account, which is called Dokibird, made a tweet coincidentally thereafter the fact saying that they lost $15,000 making this video. "I lost $15,000 in something recently, so I might open merch pre-orders earlier than planned just to help with finances. Thank you everyone for the support," which again, a lot of money, a whole lot of money to go ahead and lose when creating something like this. And you know, eventually time had gone by. Selen disappeared from the internet. Everyone was wondering what necessarily happened. We were all quite a bit confused, and you know, rightfully so, because where is Selen started trending all over Twitter. Now, eventually Selen did come back, and Selen did tweet by saying, "I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident and will be staying there for a few days to be under supervision. I just got back access to my phone yesterday." And you know, everybody was like, okay, all right, well, that's somewhat understandable. And eventually Selen went ahead and I believe disappeared again, and then made another statement saying, "Thank you to everyone for the support. Since I've been gone, I've been discharged from the hospital and my parents are helping me after my accident. Thank you to my Dragoons for all of the kindness and support. I will keep trying my best in the new year. You are what keeps me going." And we had like friends like RPR saying it's been over a month of pure silence and starting to get concerning. It would be nice to know where and how Selen is, because after this last tweet on the 31st of December, Selen definitely was gone for 30 days in January. Which brings us up to speed with what happened recently, where Nijisanji announced the termination of Selen Tatsuki. But I didn't just do it like any normal termination or any normal graduation where they'd say, "Hey, this liver is going out, peace out, goodbye." You know, even with the worst case that they had, which most might say was Zion Lanza, Nijisanji then had a page with a ton of bullet points for Zion, but for Selen, they had 3 goddamn pages. This is not an exaggeration, by the way. They had 3 pages listing every single infraction that they thought that she did. There's 1, 2, 3 right there. My internet's probably not loading at the best right now, but there are in fact 3 pages. And, you know, essentially, not to go through all of these points verbatim, they basically stated that she, quite frankly, did so many things wrong and broke the rules so many times that she was ruining the reputation of their company. And that is ultimately what it came down to, that Selen is the main reason that the company's reputation was being ruined, which I think most of us watching this video by this point realize that is a tall statement to make, and it is not the smartest thing to be saying. But I digress. Let's continue. Doki then made a statement coming out after that fact, saying that they would not be silenced. In fact, Doki's statement specifically says, on December 1st, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by a build-up of bullying from within and being in a toxic poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on the 26th of January. And instead of allowing Doki to just quit, to just graduate, to just walk away, because as you'll learn later on, graduating is always an option, they decided to go ahead and fire her instead. Now, if you don't know what the attempt is, well, I won't say the word here on YouTube, but, you know, sometimes people make attempts on, you know, and Selen unfortunately made an attempt on hers, and it let's just say it literally could have costed her life, right? And instead of handling this any better way, and instead of taking it in a way that, you know, most normal people might say is, oh, maybe go ahead and try to help out the talent, the person, and make sure that they're okay. Instead, Nijisanji's first response seemed to have been to just go ahead and fire her, which is absolutely absurd, absolutely insane to think, by the way. And you know, that's unfortunately not where the story ends. The story does continue, because then after termination, Selen, now known as Doki, decides, well, you know what? If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go ahead and start streaming again. They went ahead and they, you know, claimed their new Oshi mark as a trophy. And, you know, I think that is honestly an amazing thing to go ahead and do, considering the fact that, like, I mean, you know, getting out in the Nijisanji, most of us might see at this point, is necessarily a winning thing to do. But that isn't where it ends. Unfortunately, every single time you think that this story has a good ending, it only gets worse. And I've addressed all of this over in several videos over on my second channel. Feel free to go ahead if you want me to be more in depth of my points and my thoughts and certain things. I most likely talked about it there. The link for that will be in the description down below. You can watch all those videos there. But basically, Doki returned to streaming, and, you know, on her first stream back, she basically said that she, you know, it was a rough situation to go through, but she wanted to move past it. And that's that. And honestly, that's a fair statement to make, right? That is the absolute fair statement to go ahead and say. And you know what? We were all happy. Everything was great. Doki was back. The Dragoons were back, and everybody was happy until, of course, Nijisanji, being the Wicked Witch of the East, came back again while Doki was doing a Neopets stream. This is not an exaggeration. This is a real thing. Doki was literally in the middle of a Neopet stream, and Nijisanji decided to drop yet another bombshell. Except this time, it was addressed as a message from Nijisanji EN with a video specifically on Elira Pandora's official YouTube channel. I cannot make this up. It is a real thing. Most of the video was a black screen with only one section of the video showing actual evidence of something that Selen might have done. But to go ahead and round up what happened in this official statement from Nijisanji EN, basically we had Elira, we had Vox Akuma, and we had Ike Eveland go ahead and say, hey, Selen, not that great. She was actually a really unfortunate person to work with. I'm learning now that the video has 90,000 dislikes. I don't have the plugin to see that, but you can tell that people were not very happy about this. And it starts out with Illyra basically saying, I volunteered my channel for this. I don't remember her exact words specifically, but she volunteered her channel to go ahead and make this official statement from Nijisanji. And I want to point out that while she was making this official statement from Nijisanji, guess what? Nijisanji has an official YouTube channel called Nijisanji Official. So why was she making a statement on her own personal channel? That makes, quite frankly, no fucking sense. But I digress. Basically, in the statement made by Illyra and her friends, they said that, again, Selen, horrible to work with, never really followed the rules. And you know what? That stuff might be true. They even went as far as saying that she, maybe had doxed some private information, recorded a call that Vox was in, and he was very much not happy about that. And he went on the record saying that she maybe manipulated them a lot by saying that she would graduate several times, and she never did, which is absurd to him because, as he points out specifically, graduation is always an option. Now, if that were the case, let me speak to you directly, Vox Akuma. If graduation is always an option, then why were you stupid enough to go ahead, when you know that the public currently hates the company, willingly volunteer to speak up for said company that you know is currently hated, thus destroying your reputation with hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, to make a statement like this when you know for a fact that someone just made an attempt at their own life? I don't know, man. You tell me, right? You are the one that went ahead and raised money for, prevention of said causes before in the past. Maybe you definitely know what you're doing in the situation, but I digress. Moving on from that point, Doki had to go ahead and make a statement. Because again, she was 20 minutes into her Neopet stream, and she had to go ahead at the end of said Neopet stream and say, hey guys, that document wasn't supposed to be shown to anyone. That document was something that I showed lawyers, and the lawyers were supposed to show other lawyers, and that's it. But unfortunately, apparently, Nijisanji thought, well, we are going to go ahead and we're going to show it to some of our affiliated libraries because we thought it was necessary to do that. And we didn't break any laws or rules. We just did what we thought was necessary. And you know what? That's a fair statement to make. Except in the official statement from Nijisanji, Vox Akuma points out specifically, I'm not going to play the clip for you here, but you can go ahead and watch that video yourself, that he thoroughly reviewed the document. What does that mean, Vox? You can tell us later. But it doesn't end there, because again, this story can't just have a good ending whatsoever. The CEO of Nijisanji decides to triple down on the situation and make matters even worse for themselves by going ahead and making an apology video. I'm not kidding. It's 6.5 minutes of the CEO of Nijisanji literally apologizing, but he doesn't just apologize to Selen. In fact, I don't think he ever apologizes to Selen. You know who he apologizes to the entire time? He decides to go ahead and apologize to investors, because unfortunately, that's all he cares about at the end of the day. They are a Japanese company. They do have to make their investors happy. And I mean, no one else matters, right? But he does state, because there was a document that I didn't talk about just yet, but there was a statement that they had put out a few days or maybe a week prior saying that Selen being terminated from Nijisanji was negligible to the financial success of the company. And he addresses that in his apology video by saying that using the word negligible was probably not the right term. And he is sorry that things went down the way that they did. They will go ahead and they will try to make matters better internally within the company. They're going to go ahead and they're going to try to make sure that, you know, Nijisanji doesn't fail, doesn't falter, and everyone is happy because, you know, hey, investors, please continue giving us money. And, you know, unfortunately, again, that's not where the situation ends. TLDR, the CEO, was kind of a dick. But basically, I will go ahead and say that Nijisanji, being the Wicked Witch of the East, is unfortunately just how things are at the end of the day. Nijisanji is not really a good company right now. And for the past 4 years, I have dedicated this entire channel to reacting to mostly Nijisanji content. And the only reason I wanted to tell you guys about this here on this channel is because on my second channel, I've talked about it a few times, but on this channel, we haven't addressed it at all. And Coefficient made a video earlier today saying that, you know, he doesn't really feel comfortable reacting to Nijisanji content anymore. And I'm not sure if I want to do that either, if I'm going to be real. Because for the past 4 years, sure, I love Nijisanji's content, and I've said that a billion times. And, you know, when you look at the React Andes, me, Asmongold, and Coefficient, and Nags, all of us basically have gone ahead and reacted to several different aspects of the community. We had Nags and Coefficient reacting to mostly Hololive. Even Asmongold actually started out by reacting to indie VTubers and then some Hololive stuff. And me, myself, I've only reacted to mostly Nijisanji, and then I went into Hololive and other aspects of the community. So, you know, the fact that most of my content has always been about Nijisanji is a little bit scary, but I do agree with Coefficient that Nijisanji needs to get their act together. I don't know if I feel comfortable reacting to the content anymore, and maybe going forward, I will probably react to them less. But, you know, my Oshi, my friend, Scarlet, is still in Nijisanji. So at the end of the day, what I will say is, I'm probably just going to react to Scarlet clips. I don't necessarily think I want any more Vox, Ike, or Elira clips for the foreseeable future. But if things change, maybe things will change over here as well. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys caught up on everything going on with Selen/Doki. Make sure to go ahead and follow Doki. Doki literally released one final statement saying that they really just wanted to go ahead and move on. They even addressed, you know, what the document was for and everything involving that. And, you know, at the end of the day, they said that they basically just wanted no other parties involved in the situation. Parties like myself, I imagine. And they just want to go ahead, have the lawyers handle this and just, you know, live their life. And hopefully that's what Doki ends up doing, because at the end of the day, we all would hopefully like Doki. I like Doki. I think Doki is a cool person. And maybe I'll go ahead and consume her content now, because in the past, unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to go ahead and do that. I'll link Doki in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for understanding everything that's going on. I think that Nijisanji sucks right now, and they're kind of a crap company. And you know, voice your concerns, but please be nice at the end of the day, because I don't want you to go ahead and harass any of the livers that are currently in Niji. And you know, I've said this before on my other channel, but unsubscribing is also kind of stupid from livers. Just enjoy the content, enjoy the people, and you know, screw the company. But yeah, take care, goodbye, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, guys. Peace out.